Jetty Extracts was started in San Diego, founded in San Diego by a few surfers, myself being one of them. Jetty uses a proprietary method to take the cannabis-derived terpenes, which are the flavors and the aromas from the cannabis plant, and we save them and reintroduce them later on in the process.
There are a wide range of the terpenes that are found in a variety of different plants. That's what gives cannabis strains their very defined features, what makes them noticeable. It's what makes Pure Jack taste like Pure Jack, or Granddaddy Pert taste like Pert.
You don't add anything that is not native to the cannabis plant.
You're not shoving bubblegum flavor.
No bubblegum flavor, yeah. It's all cannabis flavors from the cannabis plant. And yeah, that's one thing that we really do like about PAX is they go really well together. I mean, the fact that you can set different temperatures on their devices really kind of helps express the good flavors of the cannabis plant.
So welcome to PAX, first of all. I'm the CEO of PAX. PAX is a consumer technology brand in the cannabis space. We make these wonderful vaporizers for flower as well as oil. And I don't know if Apple made vaporizers, and they don't, but if they did, we hope, we meet that standard.
I think PAX has a great lineage of particularly hardware, creating a wonderful experience for cannabis users. What I'm really excited about is us moving more into the software realm to create a more holistic experience for people. We have two very different product lines. One of them is the PAX 2 and 3, and that takes kind of loose flower. You grind up the cannabis and you put it in there, and it's much more tied to what people would consider to be kind of the original cannabis experience. You get to see the flower. Our other line is called the Era, so this is actually the Era. And this line takes these pods of extract, of concentrate.
Yeah, so we use a few small farmers throughout the state of California, and they all bring everything in through here where it gets quarantined, and we move on this way. You can see we're getting some of the grinding done in this area. So once everything passes the quarantine, all of the plant matter gets ground up in here and ready to put into the socks for the extraction process. This machine uses volatile solvents to run through the plant material and carry away the fats, the waxes, and the oil. It goes through these 3 tubes here where it comes out of the 4th one, and that'll be your crude oil. This machine typically has about 10% yields from the starting plant material. We'll get about 1% yield from the final extraction process. So this is a secondary filtration process, and it's going to separate out even more of the chlorophyll and make a more pure product to go into the roto-vaps. This machine here is the rotary evaporator, also called the roto-vap for short. It has a warm water bath here, which is just hot enough to evaporate the ethanol and leave the oil in here. The ethanol will float up here where it condenses on these coils and falls into this container. You'll be left with a mixture that is all oil and ready for the next extraction process. The oil is put in at the top where it drips down through here, and you can see some of the drips even happening. Floats down through here, and there are wipers inside that separate it out by the molecular weight. And then so through here you'll get the oil, which typically comes out about 90% THC. It's the good stuff.
We were looking for a differentiator. Everybody was in these similar 510 cartridges. That was kind of the industry standard, and PAX was the first company to come out with something different that had tech beyond what everybody else had. They had a closed loop system, the Bluetooth applications, all that stuff was just next level for the industry.
We have almost 300 different SKUs of pods in the market. People can choose one that suits their mood or suits the effect they're trying to get. So I think in a lot of other spaces that they're mature enough. If you take like alcohol or other things, people are familiar enough at a certain point in life where they know what a dose or a serving is. You understand what a glass of wine will feel like. One of the issues new people have to this world of vaping is that they don't really have a sense of what a serving is or what a dose is. With this Era device, you can pair it to your phone, gives them several settings, micro, small, medium, and large, and then when they start smoking out of their vaporizer, it'll just turn off and flash little aqua lights letting you know that you've reached that amount. Of course, it's all up to you. You can turn that off, you can change the setting, but we developed this because we know that people really like to have repeatable, predictable experiences.
We have everything from, veterans to, folks that are affected by the opioid crisis, cancer patients, all the way to rec legal users, and it varies by state. And so we take that responsibility of, are we always doing the right things at the company to provide the best experience possible? That's the mission. And so it doesn't just come from me, it comes from my obligation to everyone that works here, and then the obligation of all of us to this much broader dialogue around legalization and what it means for these different communities. And so we're a small part of that. And 10 years from now, when the history books are being written, it was a messy space, but these guys tried to do the right thing. That's important to us.
Los Angeles.